What's up, pranksters? Guess what? As you guys requested, here are 5 more easy pranks you guys can do for when you go back to class. Check it out. Alright, pranksters, let's begin with our very first prank. And this one is a very fun prank because it is very messy, and I just love messy pranks because they're so evil and hard to clean up. So for this one, you're gonna need a regular pencil like this one right here. You're gonna need a pencil grip, a normal pencil grip. It's best if it's made of rubber. That way it's better to work with. So yeah, get yourself a regular pencil, and this one has to be yours because you don't want to damage somebody else's. And it's gonna be for one of the classmates that asks you to borrow a pencil. You're gonna give them this one, except that this one is gonna be booby trap. And here's how you do it. First off, put the grip inside the pencil. Usually it goes around right there because people write with it like this. So around this area, you're pretty much gonna cut off a big piece of the pencil. So anything that the pencil grip covers, you're gonna cut off. You're gonna need a blade to do that. Be very careful with it. So basically, you're gonna be cutting off about this area from here to here. So the pencil will get short. Although it won't look short, it will get short because you're gonna trim off a big piece. So I'm gonna fast forward this because it will take a little bit of time. Here's one piece, and then you're gonna cut off the other piece. This is a result right here. So you're gonna keep the eraser part and the lead part, and you're just gonna get rid of the middle. So now you're left with a shorter pencil. And no, it's not gonna look this short because you're gonna connect both pieces with the pencil grip. It's gonna look like a normal pencil, guys. Look. As you can see, it looks like a normal pencil, and I'm gonna give you another example. Now this right here, this is a normal pencil, and this is the one that's booby trapped. As you can see, it looks just like a regular pencil, so your victim will not notice anything. They will not suspect a thing. And there's a couple ways you can execute this prank. Obviously, you just leave it as is and lend the pencil to one of your friends, and it's gonna be like a little simple prank. It's not gonna be a hardcore prank, because really, when they try to use it, this is what's gonna happen. Either the pencil grip bends or it pushes in. And you know, you can leave it as is, and this is just a harmless practical joke you can do in class. But now if you want to go all out, you're obviously not gonna do this prank. Of course, you're gonna set it up just as I showed you, but instead you're gonna fill up the pencil grip with the liquid of your choice. And my choice of liquid will be some shoe polish. But before we add the shoe polish inside, we need to prep the pencil even more. So we're gonna add some tape to the edges of both sides. That will help the pencil grip be extra snug. So get yourself a piece of tape and wrap it around both pieces of pencil. Once you've wrapped both pieces of the pencil with some tape, you're actually gonna apply some grease on the edges as well. This will prevent any leaking as usual. So just dip it in there and then just spread it around, and then connect it with the pencil grip. Should be very snug. And then you'll do the same to the other piece. But before you put that other piece onto the pencil grip, you're gonna fill it up with some shoe polish, or at least I am. I don't know what kind of liquid you're gonna use, but I'm gonna use some shoe polish. So I'm just gonna extract some of it. I'm gonna use this dropper right here. So basically just fill it up. You don't have to use a lot, but I'm gonna try to fill up most of the pencil grip. So that'll do. And then just place the other piece of the pencil inside the pencil grip. Like that. And of course you got that excess grease sticking out, which you can easily wipe off. And that's it, pranksters. You've just set up an awesome prank. Next time somebody asks you to borrow a pencil, just make sure it's very clean so you don't raise any suspicions. So you're in class and one of your classmates asks you to borrow a pencil, and you have this one laying around. Of course, give them this one. And just like most of the pranks you're gonna see in this video, you can set this prank up at home. Therefore, you don't have to set it up in class, and you know, it's ready to go. So you do this at home and you take this pencil with you. It's not gonna leak or anything because it's got the grease, and so all that shoe polish is stored inside and it will not leak. And this is what's gonna happen when they use it. Yeah. So as soon as they press on it, it'll start to leak. So yeah, when it's pressed on, or even if it's bent, the shoe polish will come out and that'll stain their work. So yeah, this is a classic Nextraker prank. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Did you like it? Well, hopefully you did. On to our next prank, and here all you're gonna need is a mechanical pencil. Now this one can be yours or it can be your friend's, but as always, try to use your own stuff, that way you don't damage anybody else's things. And this is just a regular mechanical pencil, right? So you can prep this at home, that way you don't have to take the needles with you, because you will need needles for this prank. So let's begin. Simply remove the eraser from the top. You can easily do that, and then take out the lead that's inside. Alright, so make sure there's no lead and that it's empty, like this one. Save the lead and put it away because you don't want to waste it. Once you have done that, you should have an empty mechanical pencil. Pick up a thin needle, one that will match the size of the lead. So for example, I have this one right here. It's not that long because the length doesn't really matter as long as it's as thin as the lead. So this one will work just fine. So simply put it inside, obviously with the pointy part in first. So slide it in. Let it drop and then put the eraser back in there. And that's it, pranksters. And then next time someone in class asks you to borrow a pencil, you lend them this one, and you know, it looks normal, it sounds normal, and when they put it to use, this is what's gonna happen. As you can see, it looks like lead even from close up, so they won't have any suspicions. And let's say this is an important paper that they have to write their name on, or they have to add last details to it. This is what's gonna happen. Did you see? Yeah, it cuts through that paper, and it's just gonna damage their work. So hopefully it's not an important piece of paper, but if it is, then you know, it sucks for them. And this is a little prank that can be done at school, but just remember that you let them know it's a needle, because you don't want them poking themselves with it. So yeah, look, comes out just like lead. And then you can push it back in. So yeah guys, this is a little fun prank you can do with a mechanical pencil. Up next, you're gonna trick your victims into using a candle instead of a crayon. And this is quite simple. All you gotta do is choose a color, for example green, and then match it with the candle that's also the same color as green. Carefully remove the wrapper. Remember, we gotta be careful. And then you're just gonna replace the crayon with the candle. So use a blade for this. Of course, you can't take a blade into school, so you're gonna have to prep this at home. And then at home, you also need to be careful because blades are sharp and you don't want to cut yourself. Now, hopefully you guys do a better job at removing the wrapper than I did. So once you remove the crayon from the wrapper, and this is the candle. This one in particular has glitter on it, but don't mind it. But you can get the ones without glitter. This is just an example. So get rid of the crayon and replace it with the candle. Then just add a little bit of glue to hold the wrapper in place. And that's it, pranksters. You got yourself a new crayon made out of wax. Can you guys tell the difference? There's not much difference. They look pretty similar, so this will pass off as a crayon. Doesn't really do much, does it? Yeah, that'll frustrate them, and then that's when they'll realize that, oh, it's a candle, because the wick will start to come out. So this is a really funny prank you guys can do at school. This fourth prank isn't really mine. You guys suggested in my last video that I do this. It's not really my idea, but you guys kept telling me and requesting that I do this prank. So for those that wanted me to do this, and for those that haven't seen it, here's another prank you can do with an eraser. Now I'm gonna use a mechanical pencil in this example, because usually mechanical pencils, the colors on the erasers vary. This one's orange, but it can be any color, and that is perfect because we're gonna use crayons to replace the eraser, just like I did in my last video where I replaced the eraser with a piece of gum. Here I'm gonna replace this orange eraser with an orange crayon. So let's get started on that. Basically, all you're gonna do is cut off the top of the crayon, and here I'm gonna use a blade. Be careful because a blade will cut you, so be as careful as you can. And there you go. You have yourself a little mini eraser now. But the thing with this is that the actual eraser is thinner than this one, so you're gonna have to shave this one to get to the size of the eraser. So trim off some of the edges so you can get it to the size you want it to be. It doesn't really take that much. Once you've trimmed off some of that eraser, it should look something like this. And then you can simply just put it in there like that. And from far away, guess what? It looks like an eraser, right guys? Actually it looks better than this one because it matches the color of the mechanical pencil. So yeah guys, you know, just wait for your next victim to ask you for a pencil and you'll gladly lend them this one, right? I'm sure eventually they'll make a mistake and we'll need to correct it. But let me give you an example of that. So this is them in class taking down notes or whatever, maybe doing their homework. They'll write their name. You know, here's an example, period. You know, let's say it's period 3, but they put down period 4. Of course, they're gonna have to erase it and correct it, and this is what's gonna happen. Oh. And the thing about crayons is that you can't erase the color once it's on there, so they're pretty much screwed. There's so many scenarios that could happen with this crayon for an eraser. For those that suggested this, you guys are pretty smart. It's a really funny prank. You know, I'm not gonna take credit for this prank because I normally don't do pranks that don't belong to me, but this one is very fun and you guys can definitely do this easily at school. And now we're down to our last prank. Preferably this prank should be done in art class because usually art class, they have these pencil cups or cup where you keep the supplies such as the scissors, the rulers, pencils, pens, markers. And if your regular class has these, then perfect, but most likely you'll find these in art class. So yeah, once you get to art class and you see the pencil cup there, dump everything out. Now what I like about art class is usually that everybody's working on different kinds of projects and everybody's all over the place, so nobody's really paying attention. So dump out all the contents of the pencil cup and it should be like this. Now this prank will only work with a pencil cup that has holes in them, like this one. You're also gonna need a small water balloon. So, you know, art class, they have sinks usually because they work with paint. So you'll be able to fill up this balloon in class. And if you can, at home, add some Kool-Aid inside just to add some color. Carefully fill it up in class and make sure nobody sees you. About this size works right here. Just tie it, make sure it's secure. Now as you can see, this balloon is just the perfect size that you can put inside the pencil cup. Do just that, put the balloon inside the pencil cup. And guess what, you still have some room in there, so you can start putting in the pens and pencils in there. Be careful though, because you don't want to pop the balloon just yet. So arrange them in a way that they will hide the balloon behind them. So it should look something like this. Everything was put back in there except for the scissors. But as you can see, the balloon is not visible unless you were to look down and actually spot it. So let's say it's time to clean up in class and everybody puts the supplies away. So, you know, you clean everything off the table and put everything into the pencil cup except for the scissors. You set the cup aside and then just leave the scissors like that. And there's always somebody that's a neat freak and they're gonna see the scissors that don't belong there and they're gonna just naturally put it inside the pencil cup. And guess what? Scissors are pointy, right? I mean, some are pointier than this one. They will just throw them in there and it's gonna pop the balloon. So let me give you a little example of that. So, you know, this is a clean desk, except that the scissors don't belong there. They belong in there in the pencil cup. So your victim, whoever that may be, is just gonna pick up the scissors and just throw them in there, and this is what's gonna happen. Just like that, the balloon pops as soon as the scissors go in, because obviously the scissors are pointy. So yeah guys, look at that. It's just gonna make a mess. So whoever that person was that was trying to do that good deed thinking they were cleaning up, they're actually gonna have to clean some more because they have a spill to clean up. Make sure nothing's around, nothing that can get damaged, nothing electrical, some important paperwork that doesn't need to be wet. We don't want to damage anything. We just want that person, whoever that is, to clean up an extra mess. This is just a small booby trap you can do at school. But yeah guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did you guys like it? If so, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I can always use more subscribers. And yeah, in fact, I mentioned that in my last video, my Q&A video. I might potentially do a face reveal. Who knows? I'm gonna set up some goals. So far, my first goal and only goal as of right now is that I'm gonna do a hand reveal once I get to 700,000 subscribers. So at that point, I'm gonna do a video without any gloves. That'll be different, right guys? So yeah, so if you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch that video. It's in the description, and it's on the eye right here. If you want to see more back to school pranks, go to my channel, youtube.com/Nextraker. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna show you 5 more pranks that you can do when you go back to class. What we're gonna do is actually replace this eraser with some gum. Yeah, that's right. I know you're not supposed to be chewing gum in class, but who doesn't, right? Yeah, that's right. I got some sugar right here, and we're gonna fill it up with it. There you have it, pranksters. You just booby trapped a binder clip. Pretty much fill up the pocket with water.